Good day everyone, this is Junaid and I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. So again, the Honorable Minister Mark Miller was on the interview and talking about giving more powers to immigration. What does that mean? You'll check the video and then we'll talk about it.
Give Canada more control over its immigration documents as well, so we respond to exceptional events in ways that protect Canada and our public resources. So we'll be introducing legislative amendments that will allow us to change, suspend, or cancel immigration documents, including visas, as well as to suspend or cancel applications in our inventory when it's deemed to be in the public interest, for example, in cases of mass fraud.
Like you guys hear, Mark Miller was talking about giving more powers to Immigration Canada. What does that mean? And specifically, I am going to emphasizing on the words that he has mentioned in that video, that the officer will have the power now to change, to amend, to suspend, to cancel, and most importantly, they can always and they can now have a power to cancel the processes which are in process right now. So let's talk about it. This is important. So, as we know, if we talk about the visitor visas or the study permits, and if we talk about other sort of visas, what I have seen in the past, which is now changed, that, let's say a student get a study permit for 4 years, get into the bachelor degree for 4 years, came to Canada, decide to change the degree, convert the degree into the college degree, 2 years, but the study permit in hand is already set the time for the 4 years, because initially when he applied or she applied the study permit, it was a 4-year program. Never get changed. You just let the IRCC know, and the IRCC change, they have notice, they have in their notice that you have changed your DLI. That's it. Now you're doing a 2-year course for holding a work permit for 4 years. Now this is not the case anymore. Well, this is not really mentioned in that video, but that just came into my mind, so I wanted to clarify that point as well. But in regards to the visitor visa, people have 10 years multiple entry visitor visas. Canada, gave 5 years multiple entry visitor visas. Well, honestly, that is not the case anymore either, because now it is on immigration discretion. I have mentioned in my multiple videos prior that, this has been changed already, that it is now in immigration hand. If they give you a single entry visa, a multiple entry visa, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years, up to the immigration discretion. But let's say, what is the point? Mark Millers have been saying that, let's say if you have a visa which is valid for 10 years on your passport, due to certain reason, you come to Canada, and due to certain reason, an immigration officer or Immigration Canada think like, that this person shouldn't have that 10-year visa, they can change it. They can change the validity of your visa. They can change the validity of your stay, and it has been, especially when I point out the stay word, it has happened in the past, a couple of months ago, and not just one person. I've heard this from like a couple of people that once you enter Canada, you have a valid stay of 6 months, and until 6 months you can live wherever you want to, you can move wherever you want to in Canada, but you have to leave before the 6 months expire. But I have seen multiple people that immigration officer asked them, how long are you going to stay in Canada? And the answer was 15 days, 2 weeks, whatever their return ticket were at that point. And immigration wrote on their passport that you are only allowed to stay 15 days and make sure you leave after 15 days. And the after 15 days date was written on their passport. That means they have to leave by that date, even though according to the regulations they can stay for 6 months, but the date was written on their passport and they have to leave by that time. Now, there are going to be more powers to the immigration, that they can even change your visa, they can even cancel your visa which you have already gotten from IRCC. They can amend it, they can cancel it, and let's just talk about the most important part, that they can cancel the visas which are in process which is, let's say if a person is changing their category from one to another, or or visitor visas application, all that, if they found out that there is any or some sort of fraudulent activity going on there, all these powers is given to the immigration that they can change it, cancel it, or even revoke it at the port of entry, not at the port of entry. Well, the information is going to be in a broader way. I'm expecting it anytime sooner, but definitely you have heard it from the Honorable Minister's words that these are the powers given to the Immigration Canada. Well, all this I feel like is because of the fraudulent activities going on during the processes. The huge and the major factor, I would say, which brought this into the immigration is because of the misrepresentation in a lot of applications, in work permits, more specifically LMIAs, study permit applications, which, you might have heard that there are more than 10,000 students in Canada, have been found with the fraudulent offer letter from the institute. So that means there are chances there are institutes involved, or maybe some people involved who have done this. Visitor visas application have been getting revoked. I have multiple people, in fact, came to my office with the passports having the visa stamped on them, but after giving them the visa, immigration called out their visas and revoked them. What does that mean? That they have a legitimate visa stamped on their on their passports, but they cannot really travel because they have revoked it from the system. When they go to the airport, they would not let them in, or they would not let them board the Canadian flight. So this has been going on from last couple of months, and then this coming out from the Mark Millers, shows that you have to be very careful with your application. If you're filling it out yourself, make sure you do it in a right way. If you are going to hire a consultant about it, make sure they're regulated and they're doing everything right to get your visa done, to fill up your forms or any document you're adding with your application. Specifically, I'm talking about the study permits application and the visitor visas application. One thing I'm also going to mention, one of the students approached me a couple of days ago in Canada. He is already in Canada, but some of his educational documents were hidden while applying the visa, and he was not even aware of that. The student was not even aware of that when he came to the school and he showed that he has already done a certain program, and school was shocked because that was not provided to them while applying for their admission, and they have revoked his admission. And hopefully the process is that they have to call into the IRCC as well that there was a misrepresentation in the application. So most of the institutes are actually playing their role to cut out those misrepresentations, or students or applicants or anybody who's doing it. In fact, Immigration Minister Mark Miller called out to the College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultant, basically the body who regulates the IRCC, regarding if anyone is providing a misleading information to the students for the asylum cases. So it's all in the air. All sort of fraudulent activities that people have been doing, these are the results now that the more power has been given to the IRCC or the immigration to basically do the certain things which were not supposed to be done that way. So you have to be more careful and make sure you know your application before you submit it. Thank you very much.